You're much better than most of the teams you're playing.
Yeah.
So your guys are wide open. So even if you don't make a great throw, he's so wide open he's going to get it, And those receivers will go get it. Whereas I think most of your good quarterbacks, I would rather have a guy who kind of made an average team better, like a Russell Wilson did wherever he went.
That's what
NC
kind of
State.
what Kevin says, and I agree with that. Yeah.
And like even MAC guys, I'd rather have a MAC quarterback who really stood out in the MAC because when he played good competition, what did he do? And Roethlisberger, you got a lot of guys who come that route. A lot of these guys in these big schools, I don't know because they got so much talent around them. It's hard to tell.
It is. It's difficult.
And it's like, and the thing is when you come into these situations, you're gonna play. Usually the team's not very good. That's why you got drafted so high. And so,
right.
Either you don't have a good line or you don't have something. And so, you're either going to get beat up. And once quarterbacks get abused in the pros for 1 or 2 years, they're never the same. I mean, what was it? Not Derek Carr. Derek's the guy or one of the Carrs. What was it? The older brother that was with Houston?
Oh, yeah.
They got sacked like 70-something, and he was never the same. He's
David Carr, I think was his name.
He had a couple okay years after that, but yeah, he was
times in 1 year.
You got to be feeling shadows. I mean, you're getting abused, like
he could have been maybe not great, but he could have been pretty good for them.
And I think that's the thing is I go, well, and I mean, look at Andrew Luck. Here's a guy who had everything, all the talent and everything else, but he started getting abused because their line was so bad. And I'm like, and so you want to see a guy go to an organization. It's like, with Burrow, if he goes to Cincinnati, I don't know, man, because that team just.
Oh, I know.
Well, yeah, you're right. We do know.
I know.
I mean, it's like.
It's a graveyard. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I mean, and they're talking about Dalton's like one of the hottest free agents right now. And I'm like, he's not bad. He's serviceable. But I wouldn't, it's like.
I mean, he's still young enough, but.
But now he's had some wear and tear because he's,
it just depends on, I don't.
I mean, kind of like Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, pretty good. I mean, that would be the guy of anybody out there. That would be the guy that
you go for.
I would take a run at
before Dalton.
Yeah,
sure,
I would pay him a little bit and take
a
chance with it. But
I think so. Yeah.
I'd take a run at Cam Newton.
You might if he's healthy. I just wonder how healthy he is.
Hey, he's washed up.
Yeah, I mean. I think if he's in the right situation, but the problem is he's used to being able to run and do all that, and I'm just not sure he can do that anymore.
I think Rivera kind of cut him back.
Yeah.
Because he had so many running backs like.
Yeah.
Kuechly
and McCaffrey and.
Oh yeah.
And now Kuechly's retired.
Yeah. And I just think. I mean, I kind of like him in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean.
Panthers, yeah.
But he's got to get healthy because the last year and a half that he wasn't healthy. You could tell he wasn't. I mean, his shoulder was shot in that one thing because he couldn't throw it 15, 20 yards. It was like Cam Newton.
Oh
yeah. He was like, what was the guy the Redskins had that came from I want to say Tallahassee, Jacksonville.
Burnell.
Yeah. Who they all loved because he was this great guy, but he couldn't throw the ball more than 15 yards. Except against Dallas, which was great. He burned them twice in a row. Because Dallas decided, well, he can't throw the ball long, and he did on one play.
He shot his load on that.
Because other than that, the guy could not throw
All right,
a pass.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Just 5-yard passes from here on out.
That was the classic. It was like, I mean, the
Carolina Panthers guys that almost took the Super Bowl.
Oh, he brought in some of the.
Well, and then he got, what was the guy from.
I didn't know that.
Plus Jack
Del Rio, right? So he's been a head coach too, and a coordinator. So that.
Oh yeah.
Del Rio didn't have the players in Jacksonville when he played.
Yeah.
He had it.
But he got a lot out of some of those teams. I mean, because his teams always played hard. They weren't the most talented, but they played hard.
Right.
And so I always, if I see guys wanting to play for a coach, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give them a chance. But
that's kind of like Jacksonville and Carolina came into the league same damn time, same damn year.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm like, Carolina's been to the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had one.
Jacksonville's been to a couple title game,
Yeah.
conference title
Never-
games, but
never
I don't
got
think
to
they ever got past.
Never got to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
But
Because we had, who was the first head coach we had? Don Capel.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Then you had what was the
Caper,
Niner
it
guy
was
for a while?
Seifert was there.
Yeah.
Seifert.
Seifert's another guy that everybody forgets about, but he had some pretty good years everywhere he went.
Yeah.
Then we had
Except
Coach
for
Fox.
yeah. Fox.
Yeah, Fox did pretty well with him.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
And then we got Ron.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Redskins can be okay. It's just, with Snyder and the other. Well, they finally got rid of that GM, right?
Yeah.
The drunk or whatever that they
Bruce
couldn't.
Allen.
Bruce Allen. Yeah.
Jesus, that guy was useless.
He
Just
was.
because his daddy was famous.
Yeah.
George Allen.
Yeah. I
It's
know.
like, that's
Bruce-
great, but you have
Bruce
you have
couldn't
absolutely
tell
no
him
skills.
into the
Like,
hole in the ground.
I know.
and I'm like, that
Terrible.
That's like just been typical Redskins. And then what's sad is because they're in a great football area as far as like they'll sell out that stadium if they are even decent.
But you got
As expensive as it is, but he's making money like crazy. So
Yeah.
you have diehard fans. So if they're even good,
Look
but
at the district they're in. They got Baltimore,
Yeah.
the Ravens. They've got Carolina.
Yeah.
Who else? They got?
we'll see where they're losing it is they have the traditional, like DC area and all that from older people, but the younger people. Why would you, if you're a young, a 20-year-old kid, and you have the Ravens or like you say Carolina, somebody else, why are you going to be a Redskins fan? They're just you don't remember when they were good. Older
Right.
people, it's kind of like the Giants in New England and some of that.
Right.
Like if you're at that border thing, like up in the north, like Connecticut and that, if you're older, you're a Giants fan. If you're younger, you're a Patriots fan because they were better. And and the Giants have had moments when they come up, and of course they beat them a couple times. So that
But what about down here in Richmond? We're all Pittsburgh fans.
yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Well, that's because Richmond doesn't really have anything, so people are just jump.
But Lyle Alzado made that damn team, and Jim Plunkett.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plunkett still doesn't get the credit. I think and then Tom Flores won 2 Super Bowls
did,
and
yeah.
still hasn't.
He's still not in. Yeah.
Is Tom still alive?
I think
He
so.
is. Yeah. He's
And I think he's the only one that's had 2 Super Bowls that's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
and Seifert
Oh yeah.
How about
and
Levy?
Shanahan.
And Shanahan's another one that it's funny now because I think people are really appreciating what Shanahan, especially here in Washington, because you realize that he pushed that. He basically took RG3, realized his limitations, and stayed away from his bad stuff, kept him good. The only dumb thing he did is he let him go back in the game.
Oh, yeah.
But that might have been Snyder pushing him. But he should have said, "No way, I'm not letting that guy go back in. He's not ready to play." Because if he held strong on that, I think they. But that's
Yeah.
where it became the butt heads, and then. Because obviously his son's got some talent too. I mean,
Look at Shanahan took the 49ers.
Yeah.
That is.
And he was the
right?
coordinator with the Falcons the year they won Super Bowl too.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, he also was the one that was passing the ball when he should have run. But it's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
chokes.
yeah.
Yeah. And now where's RG3 at?
He's
The last he was with the
Baltimore.
Ravens. Was it the last time?
he's backing up that Jackson.
I mean, if
Yeah.
nothing else, they can kind of simulate a little thing because so the defense at least gets to see something.
But hey, credit to him for
least
making
your
his way
team
back into the
Yeah.
league.
Pretty well.
He was out of the league.
I mean, a lot of
for
these
years.
guys, if you stay as a backup for all that long, you make good money.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can make a nice living and you can do all right. I mean,
I'm just thinking about some of the old quarterbacks from years ago, like Jeff Hostetler.
God, the Redskins have had a turnstile at quarterback. They just. I mean, that's really sad. You think back, there's certain franchises that just can't seem to get the Browns, of course, they've been laughable.
Yeah. Surprisingly, but this past
They
year,
did
they
pretty
did.
good.
Yeah. Well, like you go back, like the Lions. What you can't name 5 good Lions quarterbacks. You can get to about 2, and then Bobby. You have to always Bobby Lane.
Yeah,
what
that's
was
it.
that? Before anybody was born. I mean,
Yeah, that's like with the Bears.
Yeah,
And, who was the guy?
Bears are another one. They can never get the quarterback right. McMahon was good, but he couldn't stay healthy. And then
Who was the Bears quarterback back in like the 40s and 50s who was really good?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't think of the guy's name. Y'all remember?
Yeah,
got
all
the
the
football.
all those years
I
and
can tell
years.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're talking. I can't think of
Luckman.
it now.
Sid Luckman.
Yeah.
Probably the best
I got all the signatures on it, on the football from that team.
from the '85 Bears.
Not 85. This is back in the 60s, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know who was with him back
I
then.
mean,
though.
but that's what's so funny is you go back to some of these teams and you go
Yeah.
like,
My neighbor had it behind me, and oh wow, how much is this?
Okay.
$7.
Wow. Bear Scott would have.
I mean, the Bills have,
Love that.
other than Kelly, they've kind of been up and down. I think the guy they got now, he's still a little raw. He still makes some mistakes, but
Their kid's grandfather.
he's got some potential.
He
but
does, yeah.
Their kid's grandfather was their coach.
The kid's
Was coach.
was the coach for the Bears. Wow.
Yeah, back in the 60s.
What a Bear Scott. Yeah, that guy made some big errors in that wild card game, but
Yeah.
it was good for him to get that
Yeah.
learning,
How you doing?
hopefully the learning curve
Yeah,
after,
they need
after
to,
a couple
they need to
years.
get a little back and
You know. Like the last Thursday, I think it's a Thursday is like round one.
Okay.
During the evening, yeah. It's like
know.
it's like
I don't know how they got the lighting in there because
I have
I'm
no
like,
idea. They
it's
must-
never looked that good. I
think they photoshopped
they
it.
did.
was like, man, oh man, these guys, because I'm like, this isn't
Y'all
the
owe
same
them
place.
a lot for that.
Unless they brought. Wait a minute. Where's that? Where's that one with the two lamps that work?
I know.
Oh yeah.
Which
They,
one?
again,
Oh,
they put some
Oh,
lighting.
it was funny because I was just like,
it must be these two.
Yeah, they
right
got the
here.
little.
It's amazing.
That ain't. Nah. They must have put that on.
but I liked how they
lights up
called
here.
him what is it? The bespectacled, bearded,
back down,
whatever. I was just like,
That was a coach too. Yeah. But yeah, Jim Zorn.
Yeah. Zorn's the head coach of
I think Seattle.
Seattle.
I think they're one of the
Seattle ain't
worst.
doing worth a damn.
They're one of the worst teams in the thing. In it.
Hey, anything to have a little football game on.
Yeah, just the time of year is just it's kind of weird
I don't
watching.
like basketball
Yeah,
and baseball.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing like basketball would be the VCU Rams, something like that.
Yeah.
I gotta pull from my alma mater.
If it's on the TV, nothing else on.
Oh, is
I'll
that
watch
your team? Yeah, yeah. Tar Heels.
Even though we ain't doing worth a damn this year.
They're kind of down.
Yeah, we're
a rare down
we're in
year
the
for 'em.
very bottom.
yeah, really down.
Wow, I didn't know. I didn't realize that.
We are like 13 and 24.
Uh huh.
Of course, Duke is number 3.
Wow.
Virginia is. I think Virginia's number 4. I think
Are they? In the conference.
ACC.
Okay.
Virginia, baby.
I was like,
Beat Duke.
That'll be good too.
Yeah. Speaking
Yeah,
right now,
and I think they're coming in, and I think they're going to be a team no one's going to want to play. Now,
Yeah.
they don't score a whole lot, but that's hard against that defense that they play.
We're in March, right?
Yeah, just the beginning. So
March
I think you're about another week or
Like-
so, and then they'll start the
Not-
conference tournaments, and then
Yeah. So I think it's 2 Sundays they have the
Yeah.
selection. Yeah.
So I think you'll like this is
So,
probably
yeah.
the last week of regular season, and then you'll have
Then
the
you'll start
conference
having the
tournaments, and
yeah.
then they might start some of the smaller conferences maybe starting the tournaments maybe
Sooner,
the end of
yeah.
this week or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, we used to wheel the TV.
I'm sending them the foul line, but the guys,
Well, hell, that's like Deacon Jones when he played football.
Yeah.
Hell, he'd head slap the guys.
Yep. Yeah, they outlawed a lot of the stuff because of that. But now it's like
Clothesline.
I know.
they've got stuff now where they're it's getting back again where the defensive line.
It's like in the groin.
It's like, well, he's not going to catch it.
I know. All right, got to roll, boys. That's it, boys.